Alright, here we go, last video of the year, the best players in every league in 2024. When I say every league, I mean the ones I usually cover here. MLB, LMB, Cuba National Series, Asia's Big 3, Europe's Big 4, the Caribbean Winter Leagues, and the Australian League. I'd like to do the same for the various amateur leagues around the world, as well as minor and independent leagues in North America and Japan, but then this video would take way too long. Also, it's hard to find that information sometimes. If you've got that information, leave a comment. Tell us what league, player's name, stats this year, and background. Always interesting to hear. Might not agree with my choice of best player for some league, just like we usually can't get everyone to agree on who should get the MVP award. If you think it should be someone else, leave a comment and explain why. For the Winter League, some of them have finished the regular season, but some have not. None of them have chosen a league MVP yet. The stats I give here will be as of Christmas. My purpose here is not to try and predict the MVPs for the 2024-25 season, but rather point out the best player heading into the final week of the year. We'll go in order of talent level, so starting with the European leagues and ending with Major League Baseball. Though not in exact order, I rearranged in the middle a bit just for convenience sake. Anyway, here we go. In Czech Baseball Extraliga, hitting was once again led by former AAA catcher Martin Cervenka, the leader in wins above replacement, though not as dominant as in past years. For the very best in Extraliga, we're going with a pitcher this time, and the best pitcher was 39-year-old right-hander Toru Murata of Rossi Brno. Murata made 17 starts, 106 innings, 108 strikeouts, only 10 walks, ERA 2.04, WHIP 106, win-loss record of 13-2, league leader in WAR and wins, second in strikeouts, top 5 in ERA. Murata made just one appearance in MLB with the Cleveland Indians in 2015. He played in the Indian system from 2011 to 2016, played in 5 seasons in NPB with the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters from 2017 to 2021, 1 winter in Venezuela, 2 winters recently in Australia. In Germany's Baseball Bundesliga, it came down to 3 pitchers. One was Ryan Bollinger, a former AAA Yankees prospect, and more recently a 3-year CPBL pitcher. Another was Yasutomo Kubo, a 13-year NPB veteran. But the best of all was 33-year-old right-hander Marcus Solbach, of the league champion Bonn Capitals. Solbach made 11 starts, 79 innings, 81 strikeouts, ERA 1.48, with 4 complete games, and a record of 9-2. First in ERA and wins, second in innings, third in strikeouts. In the playoffs, 7 starts, 64 innings, 80 strikeouts, and an ERA of 1.13. Solbach was an MLB prospect from 2011 all the way to 2022 for the Twins, D-backs, Dodgers, and Tigers, reaching AAA a couple times. In 2020, when the minor league season was canceled, he played for San Marino in the Italian League. Speaking of, Serie A in Italy is a really hard one to figure out. They've got 30 teams and only about the top third of them are really competitive. The teams are divided into 5 groups, and in past years each group was dominated by 1 or 2 teams. Results were lopsided, and it wasn't much fun. So this year they put the best teams in a single group. They were all guaranteed a spot in the playoffs, and they were just playing for seeding in the playoffs. This group was pretty tight because all the teams were good. Other groups were a lot closer too, because they were all lower quality teams. But this makes it hard to choose a best player. The ones with the best stats were not facing the best competition, so it's important to consider postseason stats too. And the player who stands out the most to me is 28-year-old right-handed pitcher Matteo Bocci from Parma. In the regular season, Bocci made 10 starts, 52 2/3 innings, ERA 2.22, WHIP 0.97, and a record of 6-3. In the playoffs, he threw 21 2/3 innings with an ERA of 2.91. The Italian Series MVP went to former MLB hitter Alex Liddy, but it was Bocci who threw 5 scoreless innings in the deciding game. Bocci was a Cubs prospect from 2019 to 2021, briefly reaching AAA. This was his second year with Parma. In the Netherlands, Honkbal Hoofdklasse, Neptunus dominated all season long, en route to the Holland Series title. They had the league's best hitter, Christian Diaz, and the top 2 pitchers, the better of which was 35-year-old right-hander Juan Carlos Subirán. A perfect record of 12-0 with an ERA of 1.43, 91 strikeouts in 101 innings, WHIP 0.87, only allowed 1 home run all season. Subirán comes from Curaçao, played in the MLB system from 2009 till 2016 in the Reds, Royals, and Cardinals organizations. Reached AAA in 2015 and 2016, but struggled both times. Since then, he's played independent ball in the American Association and the Atlantic League, Nicaraguan Winter League, and of course the Hoofdklasse. This is the fourth team he's played for in the Netherlands, his second season with Neptunus. Speaking of, the Australian Baseball League has played 24 games in their 40-game schedule, so this will be sort of a mid-season ABL MVP choice here. Robbie Perkins, a 30-year-old catcher for the Canberra Cavalry, is 27 out of 70 at the plate, with 5 home runs, 16 RBI, and 46 total bases, slashing .386, .476, .657, OPS of 1133, league leader in home runs, total bases, on-base percentage, slugging, and OPS. Tied for the league lead in RBI, one behind the league leader in walks. Perkins is a native of Canberra. He's played there since 2012 and exclusively in the ABL since 2018. Before that, he was a Colorado Rockies prospect, reached AAA in 2017. In Nicaragua, the LBPN regular season came to an end last weekend. They're now in the round-robin stage of the postseason. No dominant pitcher this year. It comes down to 2 hitters. Batting champion Sabriel Polanco of Tren del Norte is close, but gotta go with Gigantes de Rivas first baseman Lázaro Alonso. In 32 games, Alonso was 32 out of 92 at the plate, 8 home runs, 21 RBI, 64 total bases, 44 walks, with a line of .348, .565, .696, OPS 1261, league leader in home runs, walks, on-base percentage, slugging, and OPS. Alonso is Cuban, started his career in the Cuban National Series with Pinar del Rio, Miami Marlins prospect from 2017 to 2022, played a couple seasons at the AA level, played the last couple summers in Mexico and last winter in Mexico. This winter with Gigantes de Rivas, the defending Nicaraguan champions, but also the only team to not reach the postseason this year. Almost finished in Panama's Pro Base, 4 teams and only 21 games for the shortest season of any league mentioned here. Best hitter would have to be Eduardo Tate of Águilas Metropolitanas, leading batter with a .406 average, but the best one of all was a pitcher. 22-year-old Jorge Garcia of Nacionales threw 34 2/3 innings, most in the league, and allowed just 6 runs for an ERA of 1.56, easily the best in the league. Led the league in strikeouts with 35, so about 1 K per inning, and also had 3 saves, one behind the league leader. Garcia played in the San Francisco Giants system from 2019 to 2023, reached low single-A last year, a starter at first, then converted to a reliever. Colombia's LPB, almost done, just a few games remain. 5 teams this year, playing around 40 games. No real dominant hitter, so I'm going with a pitcher. It was tempting to name Ezequiel Zabaleta as the league's best. He's thrown 16 scoreless innings and 15 appearances, but that's just 1 inning each appearance. The best pitcher is a starting pitcher. Fernando Perez of Tigres de Cartagena has started 7 games with 1 relief appearance, totaling 37 2/3 innings, 52 strikeouts, 12.4 strikeouts per 9 innings, ERA 2.15, WHIP 1.18. His WHIP and ERA are the lowest among full-time starting pitchers. League leader in strikeouts, a dozen more than the number 2 pitcher. Second in innings, 1 behind the league leader. 31-year-old Perez is a Dominican right-hander, played in the Detroit Tigers system from 2011 to 2019, reaching AA in his last 2 seasons. He's been playing in Colombia the last 4 winters, and started 9 games in Mexico over the summer. All done in Venezuela, they're in the postseason now. In fact, the LVBP was the first winter league to finish its regular season. Navegantes del Magallanes had both the best pitcher and best hitter. Pitcher was Junior Guerra, 8-1 with a league-leading .263 ERA. But it's the best hitter that needs to be mentioned here, and that is 30-year-old third baseman Renato Núñez. Núñez was 59 out of 190 at the plate, 21 home runs, 6 more than the number 2 slugger on the list, 133 total bases, 63 RBI, / 311, 411, 700, OPS 1111, led the league in home runs, total bases, slugging, OPS, and RBI. Núñez played at the major league level for the A's, Rangers, Orioles, and Tigers from 2016 to 2021 with 56 career home runs, 2022 with the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters of NPB, last 2 summers in Mexico, and this was his 7th winter in Venezuela, season number 4 with Magallanes. In the Puerto Rican League, LBPRC, it's not quite playoff time yet, about 32 out of 40 games played for the 6 teams there. They'll be playing till a week into the new year. Honorable mentions to pitcher Miguel Martinez and hitter Ruben Castro, but the choice here is 29-year-old infielder Edwin Diaz of Leones de Ponce. In 119 plate appearances, he's hit 8 home runs, 57 total bases, 27 hits, 19 walks, 20 RBI, 20 runs scored, slashing .250, .383, .528 for an OPS of .911. That's the highest OPS among qualified hitters. Also number 1 in slugging, total bases, home runs, runs scored, and RBI. Diaz played in the Oakland A's system from 2013 to 2021, then 1 year each with the Astros and Red Sox organizations. Reached the AAA level with all 3 teams. Last summer played in Mexico. In the Dominican Republic, the 6-team, 50-game regular season of Lidom was supposed to be all done by now. Just a few games remaining for most teams. A few hitters I could go with here. J.C. Escara is the batting and OPS leader. Adelin Rodriguez is hitting well. Johan Rojas has a .400 on-base percentage and has been successful in all 23 stolen base attempts. But let's go with the pitcher here, 33-year-old lefty Enny Romero of Águilas Cibaeñas. 10 starts, 51 innings, 47 strikeouts, ERA 1.24, WHIP 1.08, win-loss record of 6-1, league leader in ERA, wins, and strikeouts. So in the lead for the pitcher's Triple Crown. And those are his end-of-season stats. Águilas is the one team that has finished their regular season schedule. Romero played 5 seasons in MLB between 2013 and 2018 for the Rays, Nationals, Pirates, and Royals, with 137 career relief appearances. 3 years in NPB, 1 with the Chunichi Dragons, 2 with the Chibalote Marines. In Lidom, this is his first year with Águilas, after 10 years with Leones del Escogido. Mexican Winter League LMP will be all done in about a week as the 10-team, 68-game regular season comes to a close. Gotta mention hitters Joey Meneses, Jason Otondo, and Yasmani Tomas, as well as Billy Hamilton, the leader in stolen bases and runs scored. But when naming the best, one pitcher tops them all, 35-year-old Robert Stock of Naranjeros de Hermosillo. 13 starts, 78 1/3 innings, 75 strikeouts, about 1 per inning. ERA 1.49, WHIP 1.07, win-loss record of 10-2, league leader in wins, ERA, and strikeouts. Could be a pitcher's Triple Crown winner. Top 5 in WHIP. Stock played at the major league level from 2018 to 2021 for the Padres, Red Sox, Cubs, and Mets, through 72 innings, mostly in relief, with a career ERA of 4.71. 2022, a starting pitcher in the KBO. This year, a starting pitcher in both Mexican leagues, totaling 31 starts. Staying in Mexico, the Summer League LMB, 90 games and now 20 teams. One team, Diablos Rojos del Mexico, dominated from start to finish, and they did it with a couple guys that are household names among baseball fans. Robinson Cano got it done at the plate, and Trevor Bauer dominated on the mound. 14 starts, 83 innings, ERA 2.48, WHIP 104, 120 strikeouts for a strikeouts per 9 innings rate of 13.0. 10 wins, no losses. Led the LMB in wins and strikeouts, a close second in both ERA and WHIP. I don't think I need to tell you, but Bauer pitched in MLB from 2012 to 2021 for the D-backs, Indians, Reds, and Dodgers. Won the Cy Young in 2020 after leading the National League in multiple categories. Received a long suspension for something unrelated to baseball, and had a successful 2023 season in Japan. Cuban National Series, their 75-game season ended in midsummer. For some reason, my go-to site for the Cuban National Series, Baseball en Cuba, has removed the 2024 stats and only shows stats from 2023. Baseball Reference does not show individual stats for the 2024 season either. So I don't have the exact stats, I'll be going by memory here. I do remember that it was 3 aged veterans who led the way. Former MLB hitter Alexei Ramirez, Cuban National Series veteran William Saavedra. Both of them were 42 years old last summer. But the best was 38-year-old Alfredo Despaigne. Last I checked, Despaigne was the league leader in home runs, on-base percentage, slugging, and OPS. On-base percentage was over 500, OPS over 1,300, with 20 home runs. A monster of a season. Wish I had the exact numbers for you. Despaigne started his career in Cuba in 2004. He's been playing for Alazanes de Grama the whole time. He also played 10 years in NPB, from 2014 to 2023. First with the Chibalote Marines, later with the SoftBank Hawks. Twice hit over 30 home runs there, and was once a Pacific League Best 9 selection. The CPBL in Taiwan played its 120-game schedule with 6 teams this year, from spring to fall. As usual, the MVP went to a pitcher. This time it was 24-year-old Uni Lions pitcher Rui Yang Gulin. Gulin threw 125 innings in 21 starts, 150 strikeouts for a strikeouts per 9 rate of 10.8, ERA 166, WHIP 107, win-loss record of 10-2, led the league in ERA by a comfortable margin, third in wins and WHIP, led his team to the Taiwan series, but got pulled early in Game 1 and never returned. Gulin has been pitching for the Uni Lions since 2019. He's made 70 starts, 384 innings, 398 strikeouts, career ERA of 2.48. After last season, he signed with NPB's Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters. The KBO in Korea played its 144-game schedule with the usual 10 teams. It was a year when the attendance record was crushed. The career records for hits and home runs came down, but the most impressive performance came from a 21-year-old third baseman, Do Young Kim of the Kia Tigers. 141 games, 625 plate appearances, 189 hits, 38 home runs, 10 triples, 29 doubles, 109 RBI, 40 out of 44 in stolen base attempts, 66 walks, slash line 347, 420, 647, OPS 1067, league leader in OPS, slugging, and triples, second in home runs, third in hits, batting, and on-base percentage. He became the youngest member of the 30-30 club in the KBO's 43-year history, 2 home runs shy of becoming only the second 40-40 player in league history. It was Kim's third season in the KBO, all with the Tigers, and it was his first complete season. He's been getting better every year, and after last season we can only imagine what he's going to do next. Japan's NPB, 12 teams, 143 games, not much offense, pitching dominated. But the best player of all was a hitter, 31-year-old outfielder and DH, Kensuke Kondo of the SoftBank Hawks. 129 games, 535 plate appearances, 137 hits, 19 home runs, 29 doubles, 2 triples, 72 RBI, 11 out of 12 in stolen base attempts, 92 walks, slash line 314, 439, 521 for an OPS of 960. Doesn't sound as impressive as some of the other hitters I've mentioned here, but you've got to remember that it's a pitcher's league. He led Pacific League in batting, on-base percentage, slugging, and OPS, top 5 in home runs. Kondo is a left-handed batter, been playing in NPB since 2012, first with the Fighters, then joined the Hawks in 2023, has a career .417 on-base percentage. He was the best hitter in the league a year ago too, but lost out on the MVP to Yoshinobu Yamamoto, the best hitter you'll probably never see in Major League Baseball. And that'll be the final one here. Major League Baseball, with more games played than any other league, most often produces the most eye-popping total stats for individual players. When people look back at the 2024 season, the number that will stick out most is the first ever 50-50 season by National League MVP Shohei Ohtani. If he had pitched this year, there's no doubt I'd be naming him as the best overall in MLB. But without a single pitch thrown, I go with 32-year-old Aaron Judge of the New York Yankees. 158 games, 704 plate appearances, 58 home runs, 144 RBI, 133 walks, 122 runs scored, 36 doubles, 10 for 10 in stolen base attempts, slash 322, 458, 701 for an OPS of 1159, OPS plus of 223, 392 total bases, 10.8 wins above replacement, led the American League in WAR, home runs, RBI, walks, on-base percentage, slugging, OPS, OPS plus, and total bases, third in runs scored, third in batting, very close to winning a Triple Crown. Since 2016, Judge has won 2 MVP awards, Rookie of the Year, 4 Silver Sluggers, 6 All-Star selections, topped the league 3 times in WAR, 3 times in home runs, twice in OPS, over 1,000 career hits, and over 300 home runs, looking like a Hall of Fame career, and he's got plenty of time to add to it. And there you have it, the best players from 18 leagues around the world in 2024. Another great year for baseball. Anyway, that's all for this one. Until next year, this is Baseball International. See ya.